Everyone, and today we're going to interview Dalila from Nazarbayev University, who's going to Seoul National University. So let's start.
Okay, hello, my name is Dalila. I am from Astana. This year. I graduated from Nazarbayev University with major of Bachelor of Arts in World Languages, Literature, and Culture. And in September, I'm beginning my studies, my master studies at Seoul National University in Seoul, South Korea, and I'm going to be majoring in English language and literature.
Thanks. So let's start our interview with the first question. Could you share your journey to getting accepted into this university, like Nazarbayev and also Seoul National? What steps did you take to prepare and apply?
So to get accepted to Nazarbayev University, I was preparing for two different tests. So I took IELTS after 10th grade, and then I took NOFIP on my last year at school. And I also prepared for SAT, but it was not necessary because I ended up being accepted to foundation year program. And then for Seoul National University, I only took IELTS, but then I also had interview and then I wrote like motivational letters.
Okay. What were your standardized test scores? SAT, IELTS, listening, like when you applied? And how did you prepare for these exams?
So my IELTS score when I got into Nazarbayev University, the overall band was 7.0. I do not remember like individually by other categories. Then my NOFIP score was around like between 130 and 140. Then SAT was around 1,340 or 60, around that. And then I took IELTS again to apply to SNU, and my overall score was 8.0, and I had 9.0 for reading and listening. For writing, I had 7.5, and for speaking, I had 7.0. I think that's it. Mm-hmm.
Okay, thanks. Were there any particular extracurricular activities or clubs you were involved in during high school? How did these experiences contribute to your personal growth?
So in high school, I was not really active. Like I come from ordinary public school. So within school, we don't really have much activities. But I personally, like after school, I used to attend musical school. So I had dombra classes. Then I also attended tennis classes. And then other than that, I think that was it. Yeah. And personal growth, it's just like dombra playing, basically music, and tennis was something that I have always enjoyed. So I was just doing it for myself and not with like the goal of getting into a particular university.
Mm-hmm. So, can you describe a typical day or week in your high school life? How did you balance academics, extracurriculars, and personal activities?
Mm-hmm. So my major focus was were my studies. It was really important for me to get good grades in all of the classes. Basically, after school, I would spend some time studying, and then I would go to my extracurricular activities like tennis or dombra classes. And then in the evening, I would spend the whole evening studying. And then on weekends, I mostly studied because most of the extracurriculars, they were all during the weekday. And then on weekends, I would study again. And so my priority was just like doing well in academics, and extracurriculars were just something that came as a bonus, and they did not hinder my studies.
Okay. Uh, did you receive any honors or awards during high school? How did these achievements impact your college application process?
So I participated in like Olympiads in English language. So I got first place in my school, and then first place in Astana, and then I ended up going to Republican Olympiad, also for English language. However, I did not think that for NU particularly, I did not think like my achievement in those Olympiads was one of the main reasons why I got accepted, because with NU, I think they mostly consider the results of the score that you get at the exams when you apply.
Okay. Is there any challenge you faced during high school that you feel prepared for university life? How did you overcome them?
I didn't think I had like challenges in high school. I did not think I had any. I was mostly focused on studying well, and yeah, that was it.
What advice would you give to current high school students who are preparing to apply to university?
I think major advice to if you're applying to NU, I think it's better to start preparing in 9th or 10th grade, especially with IELTS. I think it's better to take it in advance and then prepare for other tests. Maybe just like start in advance, especially like if your English level is not good. I think starting to kind of focus on learning English in 8th or 9th grade is really great. So after that, you would not have like major problems with the language itself. And so you could only focus on preparing for the particular exams. And otherwise, I think is just, it's not like, it can be stressful at times. And it's also like, you always worry about whether you're gonna pass the test or not. However, I do not think like you should stress too much about that, as long as you're confident that you're actually preparing and that you're confident that, you can make it eventually.
Any tips on managing stress or staying organized?
I think if people have a goal of getting into a particular university, they will not have much trouble with being organized, because just like your goal is something that motivates you. So if your goal, for instance, to get into NU, is just gonna like naturally, like you're gonna be focused on that goal and just working for it. So I think if your motivation is high enough, that's something that you really want, it's just gonna come to you naturally.
Okay, thanks. Did you have a mentor or someone who inspired you during your high school years? How did they influence your academic and personal development?
No, I did not have a mentor. It's just like, I don't know, it was my own desire to get into a good university and get good education. And I always was like, I grew up knowing that eventually one day I'll have to take IELTS test, and that, I have to learn English. That was just like my own personal goal to do that. And I think I was my own mentor. I motivated myself personally, and I was also motivated by my family members who had certain expectations of me to do well in academics. So it was just like the support of my family and also my own confidence.
In hindsight, is there anything you would have done differently during high school to better prepare for university?
Maybe I would start preparing for NUFIP a little bit earlier. Yeah, because I took IELTS in advance, like a year in advance. But with NUFIP, I think I only prepared for like 3 months. So, and basically those 3 months were intense. And by the end of like third month of preparation, which was like a couple of weeks before the exam itself, I got burned out. I could not even like prepare anymore. I got sick of reading all those questions and like, yeah, just like figuring out how to prepare for it. There was also like math exam. So yeah, I got really sick of like doing that over and over again. So I think if I prepared like half a year in advance, I did it slowly, I think I would not have that burnout that I had at the end.
Okay. How has your perspective on academics and extracurricular activities evolved since starting university? What new insights have you gained?
So when I entered NU, my whole perspective on education and especially extracurriculars, it changed like completely because at school, basically I felt like I was just like expected to study well or in a way forced to have high grades. But then sometimes I was not doing it, or most of the time, like there were some subjects like chemistry and biology, and I'm not interested in those subjects at all. And I felt like I was forced to, do well on those subjects. But then I entered NU and I started taking classes because we have opportunity to take classes that we want. And because of that, like I realized that academics is actually like interesting thing. It's really important for people. And especially if you're taking classes that you really enjoy taking, like the subjects that you actually have interest in, it's not going to be like, it's not a burden, but it's something that you actually end up being, enjoying. And then with extracurriculars, the first year at NU, I was not really active. Like my social life was non-existent, mainly because of COVID. But then in my second year, I started joining different student clubs, and I realized that, in those student clubs, you get to meet other people. Like they all come from different majors and, of different years, and you get to talk to them and basically socialize with many different people, and you get to learn about what others are doing, what their goals are, and it's really nice to meet all those different people. So I think extracurriculars, especially at university, are really important, and that also kind of helps you to figure out what you want for yourself, because you see like other people, like they take certain opportunities, and then also that kind of motivates you to kind of find yourself and figure out what you want to do for your life, and also kind of contribute to your own self-development. I think that's it.
We have last question that I have prepared. Did you apply for scholarship and have you won it?
Okay, for NU, I basically when you apply to NU, you kind of automatically are considered for state scholarship, which is basically that most of the people in Kazakhstan and other universities get. So yes, I was on a state scholarship, and I was receiving a stipend, and basically my tuition fee was fully covered. And then for SNU, when you apply to SNU, you actually have to first get accepted to university to be able to apply for scholarships, like internal scholarships. because there are scholarships available within the department and the one that the university offers like for international students. And there's also opportunity to kind of later start working as a teaching assistant or research assistant with a professor. So you end up getting like salary. Yeah.
So I have some questions to add. Could you please describe your university life, and did you attend to like any clubs?
So the first couple of years, as I've mentioned, because of COVID, we were like sitting at home and not doing anything. But then starting in my second year, I joined, what was it? Student government. So like second half of second year and then third year, I think. Yeah. I was a member of student government, Ministry of Media and Communication. And it was really fun because we were like doing all sorts of videos and conducting interviews with people like faculty and staff members. And also we were organizing events. We were kind of communicating a lot with other different student clubs. So yeah, like filming interviews with them. It was really fun. And then I was also a member of for 2 years, I was a member of NU Student Awards Organization Committee. So our main task was to organize NU Student Awards at the end of the year. So yeah, I participated there. Like I was there for 2 years. Then I was on my foundation year. I actually was like kind of a member of a NU art studio. So once a week we would gather, and we had a teacher who came from the outside, and we had like painting classes. And then on my third year, I joined NU choir, which is like student choir. So we had concerts, like big concerts, 2 times a year. And then we also had like on Valentine's Day, we had singing Valentines. So we would walk around the campus and like sing love songs to people. And then we also had like, we were participating in other different concerts, like we would be invited. Yeah, so, and also this year we were like singing during the graduation ceremony. So yeah, and I think that's it. Oh, also, as a part of Ministry of Media and Communication, I was also involved in like creating student magazine. So I was an editor for that, and I was writing articles, and I took interviews from students and faculty members. Yeah, that was it.
So I know that in Nazarbayev University there's Astana Ball after you finish your like university. Could you please tell more about it, and did you participate in it?
Yeah, I participated there 2 times because as a member of NU choir, so basically Astana Ball starts with like the main kind of ceremony. There's like a concert, and after the concert, the debutants, they enter and dance. So I participated in the concert as a member of NU choir, so I get to perform there on my 3rd year and on my 4th year. And then, yeah, basically Astana Ball, it's like most of the students go there. It's a university-wide event. And so after the concert, there are debutants, and debutants are basically students who are selected at the beginning of the academic year, and then they like for most of the semester, like fall semester, they gather and prepare the dance, the debutante dance. They're like the preparations are really intense. Sometimes I would see them like at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. and they would still be in the atrium, preparing for the dance, rehearsing the dances. Yeah. And then after the whole formal part is done, then there's a disco part, party, and everyone dances in the atrium. Yeah, it's a nice event, I think. So I only applied to two universities, NU and Korea University, which is located in Seoul. I did not take Yante at all. I did not even prepare for it. Yeah, and then for KU, basically, I got accepted there too, but I eventually ended up, selecting Nazarbayev University, mainly because of the scholarship, but also I was only 17 when I graduated high school, and I feel like that's, young age to leave house and live on your own in a foreign country. Yeah.
What about your master's degree? Did you apply only for Seoul National University or other countries or universities also?
Yeah, I applied to many different universities. So I applied to some of the universities in the United States, and in England, I applied to one university. So I ended up being accepted to SNU in Korea, and then Bristol University in England. Yeah.
Could you please say more about USA and England universities? What type of exams you passed, or what type of information about yourself you gave?
Okay. Yeah. So with masters, I feel like there are not many I mean, it all depends on what kind of major you're choosing. What's your specialization? Some universities or some majors, they require tests like GRE or GMAT. It all depends on what you're going to pursue in your master's degree. For me, I was mainly just required to take IELTS because, even though my studies at NU were fully in English, they only recognize if you studied in an English-speaking country. So if you did not study in an English-speaking country, you have to take IELTS or TOEFL. So I only took IELTS. And then motivation letter is basically it doesn't matter what major you're gonna pursue. You are required to write a motivation letter, and also you need recommendation letters from professors. For me, some universities required two. It all depends again on the university. Some Bristol University, for instance, it only required one motivation letter, but from professors from your own major. So I'm literature major, and I took my recommendation from literature professor. And then for SNU, they required two motivation letters, and then US universities, they required three. So again, it all depends on what you're gonna do in your master's studies. And then some universities require CV, a resume. Some of them have some extra kind of questions, prompts that you have to answer to. So yeah, I think that's it.
So I don't have any questions. Do you have any questions for me?
No, I think that's it. Yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot for having me for this interview.
Please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and leave comments down below.